All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. Let's take a look today because I'm going to give you a quick update while these markets are going on right now. And let's take a look at Bitcoin first because Bitcoin actually broke out this morning, this early morning here. Let's take a look. Let's zoom in here. So like I've been saying the last couple of videos, I said that we want to see this consolidation in here in this really tight range of our all-time high resistance here at this yellow line right here. And we also want to see support here at previous resistance here. If we look back here and here, just zoomed in right now, but what we saw is we saw a huge pump right here, and we got to a new all-time high of $63,700, which is crazy right now. So right now it's in a little bit of a pullback, it's consolidating, but I see this no problem going up at least to our target of $75,000 if we look up here. But since we know that Bitcoin is pumping, that means that our mining stocks are also pumping too. And I just want to take a look at the RIOT breakout, which I also talked about yesterday. That was the title of my video, RIOT breakout, and why it pumped 14% today. So if we see here, it pumped $7.51, and it's still going right now. And why Mara has still not really seen that pump yet? I think it's only up 50 cents today, but at one point it was up $2 or $3. So let's take a look at that, and also finally SOS and what's going on over there, because right now we're seeing some red action going. And then Canaan too also went up almost 20% at one point. So let's just jump right in. Let's jump in with Mara and check to see what's going on there. So if we look here at this chart, we can see that we saw a huge move towards the upside here when Bitcoin was finally bouncing off its resistance, and then we saw a huge sell-off. So we saw a lot of short interest right here compared to this volume in this red volume candlesticks here, and we saw a huge from the high of this RSI come back down towards the middle, and now we've just been kind of wavering in this middle area here, waiting for a breakout. And if we take our fib retracement level, we can see here. Let's zoom in. Let's zoom in here. So let's go on the hourly just so it looks a little bit better. But we saw once we came here from this top at $57, we came straight down here. A lot of shorts came in, got a lot of money. We found support here, and then we started our move back up towards the uptrend. And Mara is still looking bullish because we see here we're creating a higher low every single time we come back, because we're getting rejected from either a lower fib level here at the 5, and that's why we know it's a dead cat bounce, because once we saw this huge move towards the downside, we only came back up and we couldn't even break past this 0.5 resistance level. So we knew there's going to be continual downside, and we saw that. So we saw a move towards here and then come back here, but we saw a new higher low. So that is also really good to see. And then we can consecutively kept getting higher lows, and now we're just consolidating in this little pattern. This looks like an ascending triangle type pattern because we're having well, it depends how you draw it. We either have a channel going on if we connect all these highs together, or just in the last couple bars here, the last couple hourly candles, we see that we have a lot of resistance here at this golden pocket area, at this area where we are floating between $53.12 and $53.51. So $53 is a very crucial resistance level to break out, and once we break that out, we're gonna form a huge W pattern, and we can just rocket back up to previous all-time highs here at $57. But for right now, we see this $53 mark as huge resistance, and we see here we're also just conquering these fib levels here. We're making a move to the upside every single time we get past one. So we went back to this fib level, came back up, retested here, came back up, tried to hold here, but we couldn't, came back down, found our ascending support here, and then came back up to retest it again, and yet we came back down. So expect another pullback here to the $50 mark. As you can see, we're still kind of pumping and trying to break that wall again, but that's what's going on so far. As you can see here, we're just going to be testing the support and this fib level right here, and then moving back up to retest this. And once we break this $53 resistance level, this golden pocket right here on this retracement, we will see new moves to the $55 mark, and then ultimately back to the $57 mark, and continued all the way up to our next level of take profit to the $64, $65 mark. So that's what's in store for Mara. It's just taking a little bit longer because it had such a huge move towards the upside when it broke out of the symmetrical triangle right here. Let me just, yeah. So once we broke out of this symmetrical triangle, we saw this huge pump to the upside, and we still have more room to go here towards the $65 mark. It's just taking a little bit longer because once you make big moves like this, we got some short interest and then we consolidate till we make our next leg up. But we have no problem hitting that target, especially with Bitcoin just breaking out right now. We still have some continued movement to the upside. So Mara's looking okay. It's still looking bullish. It's just not a lot going on right now. The star of the show is actually Riot here. If we look at Riot, Riot actually just broke out of the symmetrical triangle, the symmetrical triangle that I've been talking about for days now. So that's why it's so important for you guys. If you don't want to miss my updates, like and subscribe the video. Let me know if you're appreciating this content. But as we can see that the symmetrical triangle here is breaking out, and it has confirmed too. If we draw it, let's see, let's zoom in a little bit more here. This is on the hourly time frame, but we saw a slight rejection right here. So we thought maybe it can come back down and retest this level here at the $47 mark. But as soon as Bitcoin broke out and we saw markets open, we saw a huge move to the upside. We saw it use this hourly candle here as support right here. And then we saw continual movement to the upside. Now we're seeing our symmetrical triangle breakout actually be confirmed right here. We saw some great volume right here too. So Riot is looking really good. And people are also asking, why has Riot moved up so quickly? Also is because it has a lower market cap. Right now, Riot has a market cap of $3.95 billion, so almost $4 billion, while Mara has a market cap of $5 billion. So that's why the smaller the market cap, the easier it is for this stock to move up. So that's why I saw great potential in my Riot analysis, and that's why yesterday's video I said that Riot was very soon for a breakout, and very next day, what did we see? We saw a breakout. So we saw a 13% move so far, almost $7 up, and that's just the beginning. It had highs of almost $60. So, and remember, if you're trying to use a $60 price target, that is a psychological resistance level. So always make sure that you take profit a little bit below that, maybe like $59 or $58.50. But always when you're dealing with a nice round number like $60, $70, $80, make sure that you're going to be taking profit a little bit before that, because everyone's going to have the same idea too. So that is what's going on with Riot. Let's look at some price targets. Let's draw some price targets. I see some resistance here at $72, and then we have this resistance box here to look out. But overall, the price target for this breakout still is at $99, what I've been saying so far. But everything is looking good. The RSI is looking good. Let's look at some fib retracements to see some more take profits, because $60 would have been a short-term take profit. But let's look at some other ones here. So I'm going to set it up. Let's see. All right, so I'm just going to be taking the one from the swing high down here to swing low. We do see some resistance here at the $62 mark, $63 mark, golden pocket. So what I want to see is some continued up movement to this golden pocket area, and then retesting it, using it as support. Then we have a next one here at $69. Remember, very close to $70, so that's why it's probably there. So yeah, $60, $63, look out for that support. $70 is the next price target. And then ultimately, our 1.618 level is kind of lining up here with this resistance area of $107. Okay, so back to SOS's price right here. It is still looking honestly the same. Nothing too crazy is going on so far. There's still a lot of short interest going on with SOS. We're still lower down here on our RSI, going towards it, going towards the oversold territory. We don't see too much things going on right now. Our EMA ribbon is still flipped bearish right here. On the 29th of March, we flipped bearish, kept continual downside under the EMA, tried to break through, but still continual downside. It's still being used as huge resistance along with this resistance box here that I've been having out for a couple of days. So remember, if you still want updates on SOS, hit the like button, subscribe. But I do not see very bullish indicators going on right now for SOS at the moment. We still see, we saw some good green volume coming in, but we still see some continual short interest right here on this red candle, on these red volume candles right here. But it is still decreasing. We don't see too many big red candles, so we don't see shorts actively trying to push the price down. Right now, it's just wavering in this place right here. But let's see, the price targets are still finding out if we can break this $5.50 to $6 resistance box, then moving up here to our next resistance at $7. Then finally, moment of truth is this $9.850 resistance box area. This is the very critical area that we want to be on the lookout, because once it breaks through that, then we can see our parabolic move. But for right now, our EMA ribbon is still showing strong resistance, and also our resistance box is showing strong resistance. They're acting together to push the price down here and keep it down in this area. If we look at our Bollinger Bands, it was squeezing right here, but then we saw it break down to the downside, and now we're starting to get more thinning out in this area. So I will expect some consolidation in this area. Yet again, it depends on Bitcoin. Then we can see some movement up here, making our staircase movement upwards. But as of right now, SOS is still looking sort of bearish here. Only indicator that looks good is the RSI right now. It's in the middle. So for continual move to the upside, and then also not that much short volume. Let's look on the hourly too. Hourly, kind of same thing. We're seeing just very little buying volume, and just continual short selling. So nothing too crazy to say that SOS is really bullish right now in this case, but only time will tell. Remember, Bitcoin is still in the middle of this breakout. It just started today. Coinbase is releasing its IPO tomorrow, so we might see a huge move with every Bitcoin miner, not just Riot, but also Mara and SOS, as we see with a lot of other Bitcoin miners. So if you have any questions, make sure to leave a question down here in the comment section down below. If you have any alts, because if you haven't seen my altcoin video, I posted an altcoin video about 2 days ago, and since then my altcoin choices have blown up. If we take a look here, I talked about Link is now up 5% just today. I talked about Ethereum 6%. I talked about getting a good position for BNB, because since then has dropped 8%, but since I talked about it, it was at $500, and now it went up to 600, but it's coming back down for some consolidation. We talked about GRT, it was at 180, so it went up about 10%. We talked about Litecoin, look, up 8% today. We talked about Litecoin, 8%, almost 9% up today. Talked about Cardano, 7% up today. And what else? We talked about XRP, which went up 20% today. A lot of people are saying that XRP is a scam, and why did I cover it? But remember, when the T is showing you a signal and it was repeating the same thing that happened 3 years ago when it did that huge pump up to $3, we couldn't ignore that. So that's why I put it on my list. And look, it went up 21% since then. Probably even more, because I talked about, I think, at $1.09, so 70% so far. That's just today is 20%. And then we talked about CRO, crypto.com, which is still in the middle of breaking out. It's only up 0.5% today, but 3% yesterday. There's still time to get into CRO. I'm going to be making another video about crypto.com today too. I'm going to be releasing that, so if you're interested in that, check it out. But that is it for this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace out.